Fanalysis.
How you doing, guys, and welcome to another episode of Fanalysis. On Saturday night we had Johnny Fisher versus Alen Babic, and the fight lasted 36 seconds. Now, previous to the fight, in the press conference, Alen Babic gave a good talk, and he said what he was going to go and do to Johnny Fisher. He said that he's been boxing for many years. He's had so many hundreds of fights, amateur and professional, and he was fighting when Johnny Fisher was 10 years old. And there's no way that Johnny Fisher is going to come in there and beat him like everyone thinks. He said he's coming there to fight. He's not coming there to be the underdog and lie down. Well, it lasted 36 seconds. Now, I've heard people say the stoppage was called too soon. In my opinion, when he got hit, before he actually went down, he got hit a couple of times with some heavy blows. Then he went down, and when he got back up, his feet weren't under him. He came up, he was on wobbly legs. The referee took a look at him, and the fight was over. Now, I actually have to agree with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn said, can you imagine if he'd have carried on with the way he was? It would have been some serious damage to him with them heavy blows, and he hasn't fully recovered and he's not defending himself. I think the referee made the right call. Now, Eddie Hearn's saying that he'll put Fisher up against any prospect and any world contender, and he mentioned the names of Fabio Wardley, Fraser Clark and Adelaide. Now, for me, out of them three fights, I think Adelaide would be the easy one, and I think Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley, he needs to get at least a couple more fights under his belt before he goes challenging them. They're just too much for him, in my opinion. What I did like to see after the fight, a lot of respect. Johnny Fisher went into the changing rooms of Babic and, just gave him his respect. Simple as that. So yeah, good fight. Another fight that was on last night, across the pond in America, was Keyshawn versus Miquel Madueno. I hope I've said that right. Now, with this fight, Miquel, he was putting on the pressure. He was a pressure fighter. And I think he'd said before the fight that if he just keeps on the pressure and puts it on to Keyshawn, he will come out victorious. Now, the first two rounds, the pressure was heavy, and Keyshawn was taking a good look at him and fighting defensively. And then he stepped up in the second round, and he was putting some combinations to the body, to the head, up to the head, back down, 1-2, uppercuts, hooks, and he was just lighting Miquel up. But to Miquel's credit, he's a tough man, and he was taking them punches. And the fight was looking good. Now, I think it was around the 6th round when the bell went, or just before the bell went. I think it was when the bell went. Miquel turned around and faced him, and they had a bit of a face-off in the ring. Keyshawn pushed his face. Miquel went to hit him and hit the ref. The ref was wobbled and staggered back. And funny enough, there was no disqualification of points or anything, and the fight carried on. And that was in the 6th round. But then it got worse. In the 7th round, Miquel must have been becoming frustrated at this time. He'd done a WWE move and picked Keyshawn up. And he did get warned for that, but I don't think it was official. There's no points taken away. And from then on, he was just target practice. He was tough. He had a great chin, but he just became target practice for Keyshawn, and he was just hitting him at will and putting on combinations on him. It was a bit of a rough fight. The ref had to keep taking him apart, and I think it's mainly because Miquel was frustrated and just kept grabbing him and trying to just rough him up. And Davis, he was just trying to get out and put his combinations together. Another fight from America, Shakur Stevenson versus Arten Harutyunyan. Now with this fight, Shakur, he was very defensive, but he wasn't dancing around the ring. He was staying centre of the ring and using his defensive skills. Harutyunyan, he was a bit of a herky-jerky, fidgety fighter, always moving around, always bobbing and weaving, always moving around from left to right. And he was also putting on the pressure, but it was a good win for Shakur, and he did dominate the fight. There was no knockout. He won on points, and I guess he's going to be trying to secure fights with Tank Davis. I'm not sure how that's going to go. It'll be a long drawn out process. Will he go to the PBC? That might not be worth him going to the PBC because he might not get that fight. So we'll see what happens there. I believe this may be his last fight with Top Rank. He may stay with Top Rank. He may go with Eddie Hearn. We'll see what happens. But yeah, he won that fight. It wasn't the greatest of fights, but I think that's his style. He's not a knockout artist. And I think the crowd very slightly booed in parts, but it wasn't like the last fight. And he did try to knock him out. He did try to knock Harutyunyan out, and he stayed centre of the ring. He wasn't running. So it was a good performance, to be fair, and he had some powerful shots. And I still think that a lot of people won't want to fight him because defensively, he is a very good fighter, and that can't be taken away from him. Offensively, that's not his style. That's not his style. But he's a good fighter, and again, another fight. Weren't the greatest of fights on this weekend, but there we have it. They're the ones I caught up with. Well, guys, I'm out of here. Peace. Catch you later. Hey guys, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.